Hi guys, we're back again. We're now going to do the next question, which is the general journal opening balances, which is like question 2 from your computerized financial system CFSN4, which is I think is 2024 question paper. 2024-2023 question paper, you'll check, which is PENCAFE. When you answer this question, you need to have the following knowledge. You need to know your ledger account. You need to know what to debit and credit. You need to be able to do your settings on your pastel accounting. You need to remember that you are working at a particular period, whether it's period 1, 2, or 3. Capture the date correctly, capture the reference correctly, capture the description correctly, and capture the contra account. Make sure that you are able to debit and credit correctly, because those are not going to be given to you. You are going to be given a list of opening balances. They are just in a straight line. They are not telling whether you should debit or credit. You should remember that yourself. We are now on this question, 17 marks, general journal batch listing, opening balances date 29 February 2024. And where are the general journal opening balances? They are on a general journal list, the ledger list. We're going to go there now. Your general ledger account is at the beginning of your question paper. And then if you scroll it down, you'll realize that there are transactions with opening balances there. These are the ones that you are supposed to be loading as opening balances. Other transactions got nothing, and you can see the bank's got a question mark. You have to calculate it yourself, and then you can see everything's got an amount there. We're going to load all of them, and then you print the general batch listing. Then you get your 17 marks. Now, before you can go and load them, you have to go to look at the instruction on balances. What did they say about balances? How should you load the balances? Let us go to look at the instruction on balances. Now, here is an instruction on balances, opening balances. We already did this one, which got us 4 marks at the first question. Now we're on question 2, which we use the table of the general ledger above there. And then the date, they say we must capture the opening balances, general ledger account, 29 February, in a relevant journal, which is the general journal. And then the use OP, BLSA, reference, and the balance as a description. And do not increment the reference, because the reference cannot increase because the balances are done at the same date on the same period. And so the reference should not increase, because they are done, they are relevant to that particular period, all of them. And then do not print the 0 items. Remember, certain ledger accounts that do not have amount, so you don't print them. You only print the ones with figures. Print the balance sheet items first is an instruction. You'll have to tick it when you print. So these are the instructions that were given to us. The one that you must remember is this one, the references and the description and the date, because they are very important. You have to capture the correct date. When you capture accounting transaction, you have to capture the correct date. Now, when we go to the pastel system to load these balances, I'm going to capture for you at least the first 4 or 5 transactions, just to demonstrate how to load them, and also to show you the principle and the approach. But the main thing, look at how do we do the setup of the system. When you get to the accounting system, pastel system, you go to process, journals, and you're going to look for general journal. And then the first thing that you do, you go here on settings. You go on settings, and then you fix your settings. On the settings, you make sure that repeat description is there. You untick, because sometimes it's ticks, you untick text processing. And you also come here to the contra. You search, and then you're gonna search for the contra account, which is the 999. Okay, search by account and press 99, and you're gonna find this 999, and then you press enter to select it. So your contra is already there. Once your contra is there, when you load all your balances, the contra will automatically drop down with all your balances. You don't need to capture it every time. So after you did all these settings, Then you can go and start processing your 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 balances. After the settings, you can close and then load the first transaction. Now the first transaction, firstly you can check. If we check here, after we click we remove text processing, it's on debit and credit. I've already loaded one transaction there. Okay, this transaction didn't pick up the contra. I'll look for the contra account. It's 999. Press enter. Then the contra is there. Then I'm on transaction number 2. The first transaction that we captured there, it is capital. If you check there, it's capital. Our capital account is, if I search by description, okay, our first transaction should be capital. I enter and then tap. The amount is correct. Then tap to the contract. The contract is correct. I go to the next line. I do not need to repeat my period. I do not need to repeat period. I do not need to repeat that because they're going to drop down. And then I'm working on the general ledger account. But what is important is that I capture the correct ledger account here. So if I tap to the next ledger account here, the next ledger account I'm looking for is motor vehicle at cost. So I search, and after I search, I will search by description. Search by description. I go to description. I put the letter M. Under description, I put the letter MO. It's gonna take me to all the MOs. Then I click on motor vehicle at cost. Press enter. Then I tap. The reference stays the same. The description, remember they said your description should be the word balance, so we must fix it. We must say balance. And then tap figures correct, and then I'll put again my motor vehicle there. M, motor vehicle at cost. Enter. The word balance is still there. And remember, motor vehicle is an asset. It's got a debit balance. So the amount is 355,789.20 cents. Then you tap. You check that the contra keep following us because we already selected it at the settings. Then you can tap to the next line. And tap to the next line. Let me remove my marker there. Remove my marker, and then go back to my. Okay, we are there, and then tap to the next line. Capture the next transaction. Okay, let's say the next transaction is motor vehicle accumulator depreciation. We're gonna search, and we're gonna search by description. Motor vehicle what? Accumulated depreciation. You can see there, they are next to each other. The one is 0.10, the other one is 0.20. So they always be next to each other like that. So we're looking for what? We're looking for accumulated depreciation. Press enter, then you tap, and then accumulated depreciation is the opposite of asset. It decreases asset, so it's got a credit balance. So the amount there is going to be 156,345.89. Then tap, check the contra account is following us there. You tap to the next line. You realize that because we did the settings, the period keep coming correctly, the dates correctly, and then you must just select the correct ledger account. The reference is fine, the description is fine, and then also you are loading in the correct column, debit or credit, which is very, 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 very important. So I'll remove these markers so that I go to the next transaction. Remove the markers. Okay, we are now, okay, we're gonna load Let me load equipment at cost. We search, and then we search for what? According to description, and I put the word EQ. It must take me to all the equipment at cost. Okay. Some of the wording may change. If we are requested to change maybe furniture and fixings or equipment at cost, I must search for it. It is also best that to refer to your ledger account, because when you're looking for an item, it's not there. It may have changed the description. For example, equipment at cost, we got motor vehicle equipment at cost, it is 6250 and 10. Then we know the account number. We're gonna use the account number on the other side. Then we're gonna search 6250. There you go. We get equipment at cost. Select it, and then we tap. It is an asset. It's got a debit balance, so the amount is gonna be 32,780.55. Tap. The contract account is there. Now, I think you get the principle. You get the principle of how it should look like. It's the period, the date, the correct ledger account, and then if you don't find it, you refer to your question paper and check what is the code for it. You say put the code. The reference and the description must be correct. Put the amount in the correct column, debit or credit. Do not have inclusive exclusive. You're going to lose marks. Please do not have inclusive. You are not selling here, you are not buying, you are loading balances. Okay, once you're done loading all your balances, you can print your general batch listing, and you have to update. So because after you update, now you are able to print a trial balance. That's for free, because once you did this, the trial balance will just automatically come. For example, if I update now, update this general batch and update, it's in the system, and I close. It's done, printed and done and updated. Now I can go to view, general ledger, financial, then I'm looking for trial balance. I'm not gonna print it, I'm gonna just screen it. Okay, screen of the trial balance, and then with the few transactions that we did, we should be able to be having some transactions on the trial balance to display. Okay, let me not, because I clicked on print. I don't want to print. I want to just show on the screen. I'm gonna remove print. I'm gonna put on screen, and then trial balance sheet account first, which is fine. They said you must do that. And then there you go. You got your trial balance. You can print it. There's another 3 marks. So you got 17 marks from that one. Then you got the 3 marks from that one. So the 2 documents gives you about 20 marks. So just to do a quick recap, remember on the general journal, the important thing is to do your settings. You go to general journal, you do your settings, you remove text, you can repeat description, you put the contra, and you close. Then your table is set up. Then the date, the period must be correct, the date must be correct, you must be on the general ledger accounts, the account must be correct, the reference must be correct, and the description must be correct. Thank you for watching. Please wait for the next question, as we're going to be doing the next question. We're going to be doing the supplier source documents, supplier invoices, debit notes, and tax invoices.